Hi everyone, welcome back to GridPro. In today's video, we'll continue exploring how the Merge Grids/Blocks tool can be used to improve efficiency in the GridPro workflow. In the previous tutorial, we discussed how the Merge Blocks feature can be used to reduce the number of elementary blocks in a grid before exporting it to a solver. If you haven't seen that video yet, you can check it out using the link above. In this video, we'll focus on how two different grids can be merged in GridPro to generate a single combined grid file. In many scenarios, such as when working with axisymmetric geometries, it is often recommended to mesh only a quarter section of the domain along the axis. This approach helps save both time and effort during mesh generation. The resulting mesh can then either be used directly with periodic boundary conditions in the solver, or it can be revolved or mirrored to generate the full geometry depending on the requirement. Similarly, in cases where the geometry is too complex to be meshed in a single step, multiple individual grids can be created separately and later combined into a single grid using the Merge Grids tool. In this video, we'll look at how a quarter grid can be mirrored to get a complete grid, and also how a quarter grid can be mirrored and merged to generate the plane symmetric and later complete grid. Here we have a toy missile grid generated for a quarter section of the geometry loaded into the GridPro's grid panel. A small domain is used to visualize the grid better. The grid quality parameters show that the grid has an average skew of 0.08. Also, the grid is a periodic grid with the periodicity of 90 degrees. The periodicity can be defined in the GridPro before running the grid smoother to get a periodic grid. Although this grid can be exported to the solver using periodic boundary conditions, there may be cases where a complete grid is required for simulation. This can be achieved using the mirroring operation in GridPro. Go to Transform and mirror the grid to periodic. It converts the periodic grid to the complete grid. This grid file can be saved and reopened in the GUI before exporting to the desired solver. Now, consider another scenario where a grid is not a periodic grid. In such cases, although the grid smoother can be run again with assigning the periodicity, it may not be feasible for the cases with the very large number of grid points to run the grid smoother again. Here, users can use the Mirror and Merge option to merge the two grids into one. Let's begin by mirroring the grid about the XY planes for you. While performing the mirror operation, enable the Make Copy option to create a duplicate grid. Now, proceed to the Merge Grids option and select two different grids. In the Select Grid menu, choose the two grid files that need to be merged. The tolerance value should be set such that the distance between the two grid sheets to be merged is less than the specified tolerance. The Surface ID section allows control over the specific surface IDs to be merged. The cell depth parameter defines the number of cells inward from the sheet over which one-to-one connected cell merging is performed. The merged, welded interface is created as an interior interface and can be assigned the desired label. Finally, specify the output directory and file name and click on Apply to merge the grids. The merge grid is automatically loaded into the GUI. Checking the grid quality shows that the quality remains unchanged, and the grid is now plane symmetric as required. Save and reopen this grid before performing further operations. Alternatively, the Merge Grids option can also be used to combine two non-axisymmetric grids. The primary requirement is that both grids should have a similar block structure at the merging interface, while the number of cells will be automatically adjusted during the merging process. We hope this video was helpful in understanding how to use the Merge Grids operation in GridPro. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to the GridPro support team. Thank you for watching.